Hello and happy Valentine's Day. My name is Catherine Baldwin. I'm a transformational coach. I am the author of this book, How to Fall in Love, and I host How to Fall in Love retreats. So I am here to share some tools and some tips for you on this Valentine's Day on how to find love, how to find someone to love. So I believe my primary qualification for doing this work, other than being a transformational coach and an author, is the fact that I have been on a long journey to find love myself. And I'm now engaged to be married. I'm getting married in June. I'm in a healthy and loving relationship. And that has come after many years of searching for love, being in dysfunctional relationships, being attracted to people who couldn't meet my needs, being attracted to people who wouldn't commit to me. And yeah, so if you're here today and you're looking for love, you are in the right place. And do say hello, do comment as I speak, do ask questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. So it's great to have you here. So I'd like to share three main things today. There's so much I could share about how to find love, but I'd like to focus on 3 points. So one is the importance of having a healthy and loving relationship with yourself. So you are fans of Psychologies magazine, so you all know the importance of personal development and of self-love. But this is so, so important when we want to have a healthy and loving relationship with another. So for many years, I was disconnected to myself. I was disconnected from my feelings. I was, in my case, I had extreme ways of avoiding my feelings. I binged on food, I starved, I compulsively exercised, I ran away from my feelings, I numbed my feelings, I didn't want to feel them. My journey to love began with me feeling my feelings and what I call stepping inside, which is the title of chapter 1 of my book, Stepping Inside. So I had to learn to step inside myself. So what do I mean by that? Well, hopefully you are familiar with the practice of meditation, with calming the mind, with connecting to the breath, with connecting to the body. That practice of meditation that helps us to look inside ourselves, to step inside ourselves. So one of the things I would love you to do, if you already meditate, that is amazing. One of the things I would love you to do when you go away from this video, maybe this evening, maybe tomorrow morning, is to do a short meditation. So I have a line in my book that says that the women who need to, and the men who need to meditate the most, are the ones who find it the hardest to do. Now that has definitely been my story. I have been in and out of meditation for many years now. My personal journey has been, I've been doing this personal development journey for 16 years, and I have been doing meditation on and off since then, but I don't feel that I have cracked it yet. That's my personality. I want to crack everything. I want to master it. So yeah, but I know I need to do it. I know I need to feed myself. I know I need to nourish myself and my spirit and my soul. So I'd love you to try, there's a Headspace app, there is the mindfulness app, there is Insight Timer, there are lots of other tools. I'm sure you'll find some good tools on Psychologies also for meditation. So I would like you to step inside, and I would like you to connect to your feelings. So we could start that now. It's Valentine's Day. Some of you won't be in a relationship. Some of you will be looking for a relationship. So I'd like to know how you are feeling. How are you really feeling? And on my retreats and in the work I do, I often encourage people to place their hand on their heart and to close their eyes and to ask themselves, how am I really feeling? And then to go a layer deeper. Go down deeper behind the anxiety, the stress, the worry, the busyness, the tiredness. Go deeper. How are you really feeling? How are you really feeling about your life today? How are you really feeling about your relationship status? Are you feeling sad? Are you embracing your singleness? I hope so, because those single years are also wonderful. Are you feeling lonely? I'd love you to connect to your true feelings. So that for me was a really important step on my journey to love, connecting to my true feelings. Another important step was to build my self-esteem and my self-confidence. So I have this mantra that self-esteem comes from doing esteemable things. Self-esteem comes from doing esteemable things. So today, on this love day, how can you love yourself? How can you value yourself? How can you do something esteemable for you? Could that be spending some time outdoors? Could that be spending time with friends? Could that be taking yourself to your favorite coffee shop and having a cup of coffee and reading a book? Could that be planning something? Maybe you don't have time today to do anything specific, but maybe you can use today to plan something. So I plan to book a massage for Monday. I'm running my How to Fall in Love retreat all this weekend, and afterwards I'm very tired, understandably, and so I would like to honor myself and esteem myself and value myself by booking a massage for Monday, so we can look ahead. So think about how you can connect to yourself, love yourself, and do esteemable things. And if you'd like to share your feelings in the comment box now, that would be great. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our relationship and dating patterns. So this is a huge topic. I have 2 chapters on this in my book, but knowing our patterns and identifying our patterns is really important. So can you think about your relationship patterns? Do you have a tendency to follow the same pattern in relationships? So I definitely had a tendency to follow the same patterns. So I was always attracted to men who were unavailable emotionally or physically. Maybe they were addicted to alcohol or addicted to their work, or maybe they lived on a different continent. Maybe they weren't able to love. Maybe they weren't connected to themselves emotionally, so they couldn't connect to me. Maybe they were afraid of commitment and couldn't commit. So that was my pattern. And I also rejected and ran away from people who were reliable, emotionally available, were attracted to me, were interested in me, showed signs of loyalty and being reliable. So I ran away from those people. I didn't want to be with them. I didn't find them attractive. So I had to explore my relationship patterns. So I got to my early 40s and I thought, where on earth have I gone wrong? I had this beautiful flat in London. I had a great career. So in my previous career, I was a political journalist. I worked for Reuters, the news agency. I traveled around the world with prime ministers. So it was one of those big jobs. So I had a good flat, a good job, but I was single and I'd been striving and working so hard my entire life, and I hadn't given any time to relationships, and I had these patterns of being attracted to emotionally unavailable people. Lisa, you say that's the same pattern that you have. Well, thanks for your comment, and I hope that I can, I'm going to try and help you with that now. So my pattern, where did it come from? So one question I'd really like you to ask yourself is, am I afraid to love? Am I afraid to love? Are you afraid to love? Are you afraid of commitment? Are you afraid of intimacy yourself? Because it's very easy to go out with emotionally unavailable people and think it's their fault. Why can't they commit to me? There must be something wrong with them. They are commitment phobes. Now, what I had to realize was that I also was a commitment phobe. I was scared of commitment. I was running away from relationship. Why was that? Because my first experience of love and relationship, it really hurt. So my experience of really loving my dad, and then I was 7 or 8, and my dad sat me on his knee when I was a little girl and told me that he was moving out. And I felt really, my heart broken. I felt heartbroken. I was 7 or 8. And I thought it was my fault. I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought I was faulty. So I decided in that moment that I would never give my heart again to a man because it was too painful. I also decided that I would reject people before they had a chance to reject me, because I didn't want confirmation of this fact that I was faulty, and I didn't want anyone to see inside me. So I would reject first before I rejected. And I decided that relationships weren't worth having, that I had seen from my parents, I had seen unhappiness, I had seen divorce, I had seen this sense of feeling suffocated and trapped. I definitely didn't want that for my life. So I made those decisions that I wouldn't give my heart to a man again, that I didn't want to be in a relationship or a marriage because it was suffocating, and that there was something wrong with me, that I was faulty. So I would reject before someone could see that and reject me. So that meant, because I had made those decisions, my subconscious led me into relationships with people who were emotionally unavailable, because that meant I was safe in inverted commas, safe from real intimacy, safe from real commitment. I could keep my heart safe. I could prevent it from being hurt. Now, I didn't realize I was doing this in my conscious mind. I didn't know that I was doing this. But subconsciously, my subconscious was trying to keep me safe. It was trying to protect me. It was only when I began to explore my own fears of relationship, it was only when I began to understand why I was so afraid of relationship, that I could see that pattern, that I could truly see that pattern. So I would like you, your next task, after you have tried your meditation, after you have connected to yourself, I would like you to explore your relationship patterns. So take a pen and paper and sit down and maybe do some meditation first so that you can really get in touch with yourself. But I would like you to explore, what are my patterns in relationship? What are the guys that I always go for, or the women that I always feel attracted to? What are my patterns? And then I'd like you to look back to your earlier relationships, perhaps your childhood relationships, or perhaps your first girlfriend or boyfriend, your first experience of heartache. And as you look back, ask yourself, is it that I am afraid to love? Is it that I am afraid to love? Am I afraid of intimacy? Am I afraid of commitment? Am I trying to keep my heart safe? So if the answer to those questions is yes, that you do fear intimacy, you do fear commitment, you do fear love, what are we going to do about it? Well, loving requires a huge amount of courage. It requires us to take a risk. It requires us to be open and vulnerable. Now, I didn't want to do that because I thought it would hurt too much, but I found the courage eventually. And I did so by proceeding slowly and cautiously, and by finding someone who I could trust. So I know in relationships, I definitely had a pattern of rushing ahead, of giving my heart away before I knew anything really about the person I was dating. I was desperate to recover that love that I'd lost as a little girl. I had what I call a hunger for attachment, a hunger for attachment. So I was desperate for love, but as soon as I got close to it, I pushed it away. Now, you might have seen I wrote a blog on Psychologies a few months ago about the push-pull in relationships. So I wonder, do you do this push-pull? Do you pull people in, get them to be attracted to you, get close to them, and then push them away? Do you do that? And that is a sign of a fear of commitment. It's a sign that we're anxious for love, desperate for attachment, hungry for attachment, but then we're scared and we push people away. So in order to resolve this, we really need to delve deep. We need to look inside. We need to get some support. I coach and support a number of women who are going on this journey of self-discovery, of understanding their patterns, of letting go of that hunger of attachment, for attachment. So see if you need some support, but do that work first. Look at that, do that inventory of your relationships. Look at where your patterns might come from. And you know, awareness is incredibly powerful. Awareness is our first step to change. It is so powerful when we become aware of our patterns. So do the inventory, take a look at your work, take a look at your relationships, take a look at your patterns. And once you see them, have a think about whether you need more help to change those patterns. Do you need more support to change those patterns? So the final thing I'd like to talk about today is where to meet someone to date. So that's one of the biggest questions that I get asked in my membership community for ladies who are dating, with my coaching clients. Where do we meet people? And I had that problem myself when I was living in London and single in my 30s and early 40s. And what I discovered, and there are many ways that you can meet people. You can try online, you can go to meetups, you can try new social activities, and I always encourage people to try and expand their social circles. But one thing is key, is the question of whether you are dating in the right pool. So are you dating as your authentic self? Are you dating as your real self? And are you living your authentic life? Because what I discovered was that I was dating in the wrong pool. So as I mentioned, I used to work as a political journalist. I was based in Parliament. I mixed with lots of journalists and politicians and VIPs, but that was the wrong dating pool for me. I kept trying to find someone to date in that arena, and I dated some people in that arena. But actually, it was when I reconnected to my authentic self. So that is the part of me that loves to be outdoors, to be in nature, to exercise, to run, to cycle, to swim in the sea, to camp, to be outdoors at festivals. When I got in touch with that person, when I got in touch with that person who was a different person to the London journalist who used to go out for dinner with friends and drinks and so forth, that different person started dating in a different pool. So I met my fiance when I was on a weekend away in Cornwall with friends. We were cycling, and I had met those friends because previously, a few weeks earlier, I'd gone on a camping and cycling weekend, which was really me connecting to my authentic self. And if you can see my smile, that's because I love doing those things. I connect to the child within. I connect to my true self. So I would ask you, are you dating in the right pool? Are you doing the things that you truly love to do? So another task that I would like to give you, a little bit of homework, is for you to have a think about something that you used to absolutely love doing as a child, but that you're no longer doing or not doing very much. And that could be something creative, drawing, painting, it could be singing, it could be hiking outdoors, it could be cycling, it could be dancing. And I would like you to commit this Valentine's Day to doing that activity at least once in the next month. So what new activity that is absolutely aligned to your authentic self can you do in order to make sure that you are dating in the right dating pool? And maybe just ask yourself, am I dating in the right dating pool? Am I in the right place? Am I mixing with the people who speak to me, who are aligned with my authentic self? And believe me, when you start doing that, you will glow, you will shine from within when you start doing these things that you love, that bring the child inside to life. You will start glowing, and people won't be able to not be attracted to you. They will be drawn to you. You will feel fulfilled in your life. And your singleness might not bother you anymore because you're so fulfilled in your life and you're doing the things that you love. So I would love you to think about an activity that you can do. So those are the three main points that I'd like to share with you today. So connecting to yourself, connecting to your feelings, continuing with meditation if you already meditate, but trying it and getting to the place where you really desire it, where it's like cleaning your teeth, where it becomes a habit, where you start looking inside and connecting to your intuition and your feelings, because that intuition is so important when we go dating, and knowing how we feel is so important when we go dating. So a lot of the women I coach, like me, they are overthinkers, they are very successful, they're very intelligent, They use their thinking a lot, their brain a lot. And what I say is less thinking and more feeling. So how do I feel when I am with this person? How do I feel when I'm with this person? And I had many relationships in which I felt edgy, anxious, not at ease, unsure, insecure. And I now have a relationship in which I feel entirely at home, at peace, like I could stay in it forever. And that is a really wonderful feeling. So connect to your feelings. I also talked about identifying your patterns and changing those patterns. How can you do that? How can you identify and change your patterns? So I'm suggesting that you go and write a little inventory of your relationships and have a think about whether you're afraid of relationship and where that fear might come from, and then get some support for that. Thank you for, Miriam, thank you for commenting. And then the third thing that I asked was, are you dating in the right pool? Are you dating as your authentic self? Are you being authentic and vulnerable? And Miriam just said, thanks for being so vulnerable. That is one of the hallmarks of my work. That is what I pride myself on, because I believe that that is the source of all transformation, our vulnerability. So they're just 3 takeaways for today. I have lots more in my book. I have a chapter on letting go, on setting healthy and loving boundaries, on understanding what might trigger us in relationships, why we might run away from relationships. I have a chapter on creating a wonderful vision for your life so that you're so fulfilled and excited. So do take a look at my book. It's on special offer today on Valentine's Day on Amazon Kindle for just 99p. It's called How to Fall in Love, a 10-step journey to the heart. If you'd like to know anything more about me, go to howtofallinlove.co.uk. I would also love you to join my 14-day Find Love Challenge, and that starts tomorrow. So in order to join that, go to howtofallinlove.co.uk and sign up on my mailing list, and I will enroll you in my 14-day Find Love Challenge starting tomorrow. As I mentioned, I also run retreats. So I have a retreat this weekend in Bournemouth. I have 2 spaces left. It's called How to Fall in Love. And if you're interested, go to my website. And I also have a free Facebook group called Being Real, Becoming Whole. So do come and look at that. So yeah, join my 14-day Find Love Challenge, join my free Facebook group, take a look at the book, and do those 3 activities, those 3 exercises that I've suggested for today. And remember, for more videos from expert coaches, go to, if you're a subscriber of Psychologies, you get free coaching, go to Life Leaps. So I thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day, and do something really loving for yourself, really loving for yourself. Give yourself love and share the love. Thanks for watching. Bye.